Jonah, thanks for speaking with us. Wanted to know your take on, obviously it was a pretty wild game and there are big positives and also some big negatives. I was wondering how you look at this game, as a whole.
I'm not happy, being honest. I think we had a huge opportunity to get 3 points today. I think offensively we have created a lot of chances to score, but it's not about what we had to do in attacking, because we found really well what we had to do. But defensively we cannot allow ourselves what we've been doing, especially the first half. We have to learn about that, because if we want to be a competitive team as we were last season, we have to be consistent in our performance. And today I'm not happy with the first half defensively, but then offensively we did a good job. I like it also, the reaction, be there, until the last minute trying to score, but finally we got a tie. I'm not happy because we wanted to win today, and we have a huge opportunity to get the 3 points, and we didn't.
You mentioned the first half. It seemed like, especially early on, their goal came from that long diagonal from left to right. It seemed like they were able to find that several times. How did you see them finding that opening, and then how did you manage to seal that off a little bit as the game went on?
Yeah, it's not about one detail, is some details. When you work in a specific way, I personally like to say we need to speak the same language out of possession, and we were not occupying the position that we have to make sure that they were not able to progress in the way that they did, how we were defending the box. I mean, so many mistakes that we cannot allow us, because we know that the teams when they play here, they will take that as an opportunity to create chances, and it's something that we know that we've been doing in the past, and today we didn't. I mean, I think the possession that they had in the first half was okay. We are creating chances, okay, keep attacking, but we missed a lot of things that we have to do out of possession. So then the second half we did a good job. They were just defending the result. They didn't create any chance in the second half, but was not enough because we didn't win.
Brian, Luis.
Hey, thanks for speaking with us. I just wanted to ask about Esme. She was ruled out for today's game. A bit to my surprise. Is she okay, and how did that kind of affect the game plan for today?
She felt something after the last game. Being honest, the intention was to be able to play today, but in the -2, in the rehab process, she didn't feel 100% comfortable, and medical service did decide to be out for today and not be available for the team.
How did that kind of affect the game plan for today?
No, it didn't affect. I had to change some players in position. The idea was to play with Reve as a number 6 today, but in the -1 I had to change that because we didn't expect that Esme could be out. Not game plan, but the specific role for the players that we've been working during the week, we had to do some changes because Esme was going to play as a center left back. Sorry.
And I was talking to Aubrey about this, but it's now 4 matches without a clean sheet, and the defense seems to be playing well, but there's just some lapses in judgment and lapses in concentration maybe. Is that something that you guys have to work on in practice? Because it seems solid back there. It's a very solid back line, but conceding 3 goals today, 4 against Angel City.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that we have to just pay attention to the goals, because I think they did finish 9 times today, and they did score 3 goals, but it's not about the goal. It's about the entire play, how we were defending, strikers, midfielders, defensive line, box, high press, block. I mean, some things, some situations that every time that we say we need to speak the same language, when we don't, maybe something can happen against you, So we miss sometimes it's concentration, our role when we are defending. Obviously, I'm the responsible. It's something that we have to keep working, because we know that I have a team that we create a lot of chances. We have a lot of talent also in the back, but in the last games we are receiving a lot of goals.
Thank you.
We'll go Luis and then Jose.
Coach, en los últimos 2 partidos que han jugado en casa ha pasado una misma similitud. Ha habido un gol tempranero y ha habido más de 2 goles. O sea, ¿qué tú te crees que se debe quizás esa desatención del equipo en esa primera parte?
Bueno, yo creo que es un partido muy diferente al del otro día contra el Gen City. Angel City fueron superiores. Hoy hemos tenido ocasiones con el 0-0 para poder ponernos por delante. Hemos tenido ocasiones luego con el gol en contra. Hemos sido capaces de remontar. No creo que haya habido un problema de inicio de partido, sinceramente. Creo que ha sido problema de algunas situaciones que no hemos defendido bien como equipo. No me gusta señalar individualmente. Como equipo no hemos hecho lo que teníamos que hacer y, bueno, cuando tú abres la puerta a que algo suceda, pues los rivales tienen talento y hoy pues, también han tenido esa fortuna, esa eficacia, ¿no? de las pocas ocasiones que han tenido ser capaces de meter 3 goles. Creo que hemos jugado mucho mejor que contra Angel City. Hemos tenido una versión, un nivel competitivo mucho más alto. Hoy hemos merecido la victoria, contra Angel City no la merecimos, pero aún así hemos encajado 3 goles. Es algo que tenemos que seguir trabajando porque no nos lo podemos permitir.
El trabajo de las bandas hoy fue eficiente por muchas veces, de las veces que pudieron tratar de buscar un gol fue por las bandas. O sea, ¿cómo se puede seguir trabajando para explotar esas áreas del equipo en los próximos partidos?
Sí, hemos creado muchas ocasiones por la manera en la que nos estaba defendiendo Utah. Teníamos progresiones relativamente sencillas por izquierda y por derecha. Creo que el perfil de Rose y el perfil de Monday nos está dando mucho. Cuando tienen que recibir fuera para encarar, cuando tienen que jugar por dentro, cuando tienen que encarar, pisar área. Bueno, es perfil de jugadoras que sinceramente nos está dando mucho y creo que nos va a seguir dando mucho en el futuro también.
¿Y Lacey Santos estará disponible para el próximo partido?
No.
All right, we'll go Jose and then Mario.
Jonah, thank you for speaking with us. When it came with Casey coming off the bench, what was the strategy for you to have her come off the bench? How healthy is she, and what were your thoughts as the dying moments there? See her come up and get that header that you guys definitely needed for the tie.
She only could play 45 minutes today. She has a medical restriction, so I did decide to put her on the second half. I think she had a great impact, being honest, in the game. She did provoke the penalty. She has scored the last goal. She had a good performance. I think it's a player that is very important for us. She's going to help us a lot in the future. Today, how we were losing the game in the second half, she had to be more offensive, especially when Rose received there and tried to create 2v1 situations in the left side. We've been doing a good job there, but again, we didn't win, so we cannot be happy today.
Understood. And you mentioned yesterday Hal was going to be on a minutes restriction as she came back in. You know, were there thoughts of maybe not bringing her in because of how tight the game was, or was the plan always to bring her in at this time? And what did you see out of her?
She only could play 50 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Mario.
Buenas noches, Jonah. Quería preguntar en particular, ¿qué fue el mensaje que tenías para el equipo en el medio tiempo después de haber conseguido 3 goles en los primeros 45 minutos?
Primero, analizar qué había pasado a nivel defensivo en las acciones de los goles, porque no hemos estado bien para nada. Y en base a eso ajustar saltos de presión, ser un poquito más valiente, como así lo hemos sido en segunda parte, con Central saltando a extremo que se ubicaba por dentro para intentar ser algo más agresivas e intentar crear más ocasiones y seguir insistiendo la manera que hemos tenido, sobre todo de progresar por fuera. Hemos tenido cierta facilidad para encontrar situaciones de 2 contra 1, mucho ataque de área, pero bueno, infelizmente no hemos sido capaces de ganar el partido hoy.
El segundo tiempo fue un poco más físico, en particular por la banda por donde estaba Rosmund Kouassi. ¿Cómo hizo el equipo para contrarrestar un poco el juego físico que estaba presentando Utah?
No, bueno, sabíamos que no solo Rose tenía que ayudarnos ahí, necesitábamos incorporar a más gente, necesitábamos incorporar a lateral, a Casey, necesitábamos incorporar también a Courtney, que nos ha dado también cierta profundidad por ese lado. El trabajo hoy de los cuadrados y de las jugadoras de fuera pues era un poco intentar explotar esa profundidad una vez el balón llegaba fuera y sinceramente lo hemos hecho bien. Primera parte y segunda parte lo hemos hecho bien. Hemos explotado bien las acciones de fuera, hemos explotado bien las acciones de profundidad cuando tocaba. No sé exactamente el número de finalizaciones que hemos tenido hoy, pero creo que han sido un número muy alto, pero como he dicho ya varias veces no ha sido suficiente.
Y finalmente quería preguntar, ¿cómo fue la conversación con Kruger para ella ser titular esta noche?
No he necesitado hablar con ella para prepararla, ya estaba más que preparada, viene haciendo buenos entrenos, poco a poco está cogiendo el ritmo, también tenía restricciones hoy en cuanto a minutos y bueno, la verdad que ha hecho un buen partido.
Gracias.
We'll go back to Jason, then we'll have one online to finish up.
Jonah, you mentioned the mentality of the group in a positive way to fight through the adversity and pursue the equalizer. But there is, going even back to last year, sort of the early game, that mentality isn't as consistently there. It always seems to be there in the final 10, 15 minutes. How do you work with the group to sort of solve that? I know it's not like it's a new problem, and I'm sure you've thought quite a bit about it, but what goes into getting the team to be as good as they are in the last 15 in the first 15?
I don't like to say intensity because that's always, for me, it's an excuse, to say, no, it's lack of intensity. We don't have lack of intensity. It's sometimes we have lack of connection in some specific situations. And the most important thing in soccer is be connected 90 minutes, If you are the side back, it doesn't matter if the ball is in the other side. You have to be connected. You need to understand your role, and we are working on that. We know that some players are playing other positions because, as you know, we have some players out in terms of injuries, and sometimes you need more time, to adjust some things, get more experience to figure out what is going on, and after that have more chances to improve. And today I think we had no luck in that, because in the lack of connection that we had in the first half, especially defensively, I think they scored 3 goals so easy. We have creating a lot of chances in the game, but again, it was not enough. We are working a lot on the, tactical, try to be consistent in the connection that we have to do in possession and out of possession, 90 minutes, but again, sometimes you need a little more time to adjust, figure out what, and then move forward to grow as a team.
And last question from online comes from Colin Udo at ESPN. He asks, what exactly do you think the issue with the Spirit's poor home form so far compared to the very good away form? And he asks how the team can turn this around.
I think in general today we made a good job. Last time that we played here against Angel City, I think they were better than us in the 90 minutes, but today we were better than the other team. It's something that we need to improve. We know how important were the supporters last season here. On the road we are playing well. We are winning games. I think that's very, very important. But we need to make consistency in our performance at home. We know that how Audi Field is, how they support the team during the 90 minutes. I think they are enjoying, but I am not enjoying a lot because we are conceding a lot of goals. So it's something that we are working on, try to be consistent in the performance when we play at home. And it's going to be a good opportunity next time playing at home against North Carolina, against other good team. Try to do a perfect game to win that one. Now we have to see on Seattle. It's going to be a hard trip and hard game too. And we need to go there with intention, with the mentality to get the 3 points again.
Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, everyone. We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back with
Have a good
Casey
night.
Kruger
Bye-bye.
and Tara McKeown. All right. We have Casey Kruger and Tara McKeown. Jason, take us away.
Thanks to you both for speaking with us. I guess for both of you, obviously a pretty crazy game, maybe one too many crazy games in a row kind of factoring in. I was wondering how you both take the good stuff and the bad stuff of tonight.
Yeah, I think definitely got to work on some stuff at training. It's been too many consistent games of giving up so many goals, so hopefully we can get back to the basics and not giving up that many goals. It's great that we're scoring and creating opportunities, but if we get scored on, we're going to end up tying or losing, so it's just, yeah, getting back to the basics.
Yeah, totally agree with that. A little bit of a wake-up call. But I think it showed the character of the group to fight back over and over, but it's getting frustrating
lot of
having to do that.
Casey, I wanted to ask you a little about, not that this implies that your energy in the games we've seen you play in the past has been less, but it seemed like tonight you were very much like, we're not settling for a defeat. What fed into that? I mean, it's got to be tricky to do that when you're also on a minutes cap, having been out for a little while. I'm just wondering what maybe went into that.
Just knowing like my role tonight was going to be, coming in at some point. Just trying to bring the energy to fight back. But yeah, hopefully I can do that every time, not just one time.
I say you do. Yes.
All right, we'll go Brian and then Roy.
Thanks for speaking with us. So obviously we have to talk about the goal. A defender link up, obviously. Do you guys just think like, hey, we have to take this into our own hands? Gotta get this goal.
She's the assist queen every week. Let's go. No, as soon as I saw
assist
her
the week
go,
last week, and you won that again this week. It's a
Yeah.
great cross and a great
it
header.
was. As soon
Thank
as I
you.
saw her going, I was like, oh, we're getting in the box. Let's go.
Get in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were losing. So it's like anything to help the team get a goal and get forward. And I mean, we talk about all the time, like pass and run. So as I was passing it to Gabby in my head, I was like, pass and run. So I just started running and then, put it in the box in case he was there. Great header.
Put it on a platter, sis.
So, I mean, it's been a few games without a clean sheet now. Obviously, that must be frustrating as defenders. Is that something that, you're obviously working on that in training and stuff, but what's the mentality with that? It's like you have a great back line, and it just seems to be maybe lapses in judgment and timing and concentration, maybe.
Yeah, I think just being locked in as a whole team the whole time. There were some times when we turned off and we're walking back and they were able to counter. So we know that that can't happen really going forward, and just being together as a team, whether we're in high press, in block, just staying together and knowing what our position is and what our role is in that moment.
Thank you.
All right, over to Roy.
Thank you both. Tara, I want to start with you. Just thinking about having Casey on in the second half, it seemed like a lot changed, at least defensively. More broadly, you guys were able to limit the number of shots and chances that Utah had. How important was it to have Casey back, and how did that affect you guys? Even just in terms of communicating and sort of working together as a back line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that she's back from injury. It's been a long road for her, so I'm just happy that she's able to be on the field and get minutes. I love playing besides her and the whole back line. I feel like when we hit halftime, we knew something needed to change, but it was more so just as a team and like I said, knowing your roles locked in defensively, and I feel like going into the second half, the whole team was able to do that a little bit better.
And then Casey, you had 45 minutes to watch what happened, and then we talk it over at halftime. When you were coming on, what did you see as sort of the main things that you needed to do to help the team, lock things down a bit?
I think one big thing that we talked about was just being on the front foot and changing our press, being a little bit more aggressive, and I think that changed things dramatically and created a lot more chances for us as well.
All right. Any more from the room before we go to Jason? Andre?
Thanks for speaking with us, and congrats on the goal, Casey. Congrats on the assist, Tara. We talked to Jonah, and he was talking about trying to speak the same language on the team and in organization. What does that necessarily mean to you, especially as well as defensive unit, trying to find a way to kind of stop the goals that have been coming recently?
Yeah, I think it's just everyone being on the same page and knowing we don't want them to cross. If they do cross, what your position is in the box, if you're marking, if you're zonal. So just like knowing those roles and like speak the same language is just like knowing what the person in front of you is going to do. So then you know, like we all have a specific role and we have to do those to the best of our ability, which we fell short of tonight.
Yeah, I think you said that perfectly. Just like filling in the gaps, knowing, you know, which roles are filled by which people, no matter what.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and Jose, and then we'll wrap with Jason. Gotcha.
I mean, this can go for both for you guys because you're both defenders. It's another game where you guys can allow the visiting team to score first. How frustrating has that gotten for you guys, and where do you feel are is it what you kind of mentioned earlier, those momentary lapses that are causing that to continue, or is there something else that we're not noticing?
Yeah, we got some things to figure out, I guess. I think
Yeah.
a little bit of unluckiness, a little bit of organizational issues, but gives us an opportunity to clean it up for next week.
All right, and then Jason, wrap us up.
Tara, I wanted to ask about their first goal, and maybe it wasn't just that goal. It was, I think, 3 or 4 times in the first few minutes. It was like they'd pull the shape over to one side, play the long diagonal, and then Thompson would come from right back, and all of a sudden it would be her running in a ton of space. What did you see in terms of that dynamic repeating itself, and then how did the group sort of solve it? And that I think after like 25, 30 minutes, it stopped happening.
Yeah, well, we know that we have to keep it to like one side. So when they are on the right side, either keep the play there or end it there. And then when they do switch it, it's getting the numbers behind the ball. Like we're not just running straight out, we're running diagonally back. So everyone's back in position. And when they do either cross or shoot, like we're there for the rebound or to block the cross.
And, last one is maybe there's a mentality with the group. This has gone on for a while, I would say, past seasons as well, where maybe at the start of games it's not that great, or it's great in moments and then it fades in moments. But then the last 15 minutes, like tonight, for example, it just seems like the Spirit always kind of find a goal or find something. How do you find maybe the middle ground where that last 15 can be ported over and be there right at the start?
Yeah, it's frustrating because we've been working on that. So I don't know. I think it's part to do with like mentality, just going into the game. We got a lot of chances in the beginning of the game, and maybe when we didn't put those away, we kind of turned off and thought they were going to come, but we still have to be locked in defensively no matter what. And then I think that's like when our mentality does come out, is towards the end of the game when we are losing and we're like, oh crap, like we actually might lose this game, so let's not do that. I think we have to start the game like that, and knowing that like any team in this league can score and can transition well, so being locked in from the start.
All right, thank you, Casey and Tara.
Thank you.
And we will see you all virtually in the wee hours of next Saturday morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.